So now I've published my model. So I'm going to make some reports. So I'm just going to open to my Power BI. I'm going to open a new Power BI desktop. And now what's great with this shared data sets is that you can allow users to connect directly to your model and to your data set. What it does get around as well is that you can publish your reports or have your reports in a different app workspace than the model. This kind of gets around and have a centralized place for your model. To connect to the data, it's super easy with a new connector. I can click Get Data, and we have second in common data sources is Power BI data sets. I'm going to click on my data sets. And here I have all my different data sets. We see which workspaces they're in. As I say, you can connect from different workspaces. I have a Bloomberg terminal, which I've promoted. I'll go into that soon. But here in my new workspace, Excel demo model, I can click directly on this model. I'm going to create. So now everything I had in my last model is now directly connected to this Power BI report. This is pretty huge because this means that model lives in the model file that we've published and saved in the SharePoint. We will notice that we get one of the downfalls is we only can now see on the left here. We only have one tab, which is the report. You do lose the ability to view the model and also to view the data. If you wanted to do that, you'll have to open the model file and look at that directly. However, this does mean all of the data modeling has now pulled through. All of the measures that we have now pulled through. So looking at our slide, we created measures in the original model file. These are what I like to call, we'll call them global measures. These are organizational measures that should be the same across each of our reports. Things like, sales to last year. This is business logic and KPIs that we want to keep consistent to each of our reports and across our different data. We then can, if we go, you'll notice in our modeling, we lose the ability to create a new column, which we probably don't want to be doing anyway. That's probably something we can push to Power Query or do in the model file. We can still create measures. Now, this is in the live connected report to your model. We can create some measures in each report file. These will be specific to that report file. And these will be what we call, skipping ahead, report measures. I would suggest we only want report measures specific to those reports. Report measures I use are things like formatting, or we want a specific ordering in this one report. Sometimes I'll have conditional formatting. I like to things be different colors, very specific to the report that I'm making, very specific to what I'm doing. These are report measures. We don't want any business logic. We don't want to have things such as sales, such as last year's sales, KPIs in these specific reports. Because once we have these in the report, they're disconnected to our model. The next analyst who comes and creates their own report could have a slightly different DAX. We don't want to have to be emailing DAX or measures across to people. We can keep these in global measures. People will have access to them and not have to worry about how they're calculated. So once I create a report, I've done this previously here. I can then, if we look here, you can tell that I'm connected directly because firstly, I only have one tab in the top right, in the top left. I can only see my measures. And in the bottom right, it says connected live to the Power BI dataset Excel demo. This is in my other tenant. So we can then save this file. We'll save it, and we can upload this into a SharePoint file as well. So I'm going to upload my report, and this is probably where you would want to have different folders or a document library depending on how you use SharePoint in your organization. So again, to go through this, I'm uploading this directly to SharePoint. I'm then going to head back over to my tenant. I'm going to say, I'm going to go through this again. I say, I've got my model, and I'm going to get data. Realistically, if you're in a medium-sized organization, you'll probably have different workspaces. You might want to have a workspaces to keep your models and have that access to people who are the modelers who write the DAX. You then could have different app workspaces of this, which house reports specifically for the report designers. This is often different skills kind of throughout your organization. Right now, I'm just doing it in the same one because I am my organization. I don't have any other people. So I'm going to go down to files, get files. Again, SharePoint. Connect to my URL. Here it is, Excel demo. So now I have my reports ready. And this is an older one I think I uploaded, but this is my Excel report, my Power BI report. So these are now hosted in SharePoint. This report is directly connected to a different report, which contains just the model. Again, keeping that one source of the truth.